Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a live stream update today, Sunday evening, 7:30 p.m. here on mainland Spain, 6:30 of course in the Canary Islands, and we'll go through some of the news that has caught my attention these last few days and also some comments that have been left on the video as well. Now let's have a look what's going on in the chat section today. Let's check out the activity that we have there. Ricardo coming in from North London, still feeling sad about the Queen passing away, but there are many beautiful tributes for her. She's on her way to Edinburgh for final resting. Thanks for that, Ricardo. Elaine coming in from New Jersey. The 9th of September, of course, as Elaine points out here, remembering the day of the terrorist attacks, of course. Don coming in, just replying to Ricardo. Melanie coming in, sad, says Melanie, the service tomorrow. Lots of talk about the Queen's passing here. Pat Muller coming in from Asturias. Hello, Pat. Change of scenery today. Hot today in Asturias, hot today in Madrid here, Pat, 37 today in Madrid. Mark coming in from Seville, looking forward to some rain. I think we all are. Tobias coming in from Jerez, planning to go to Seville. And Sue coming in, watching in Madrid, heading back to Michigan on Tuesday. Went to a few festivals. People stay up here crazy late, as in no sleep. That's right. People do tend to stay up very, very late when there are festivals on, Sue. And also normal weekends, people like to burn the midnight oil, as they say. Now we're up to 18 likes. I'll just put the little like icon in the screen. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do so just below the video. And we'll get into the first piece of news today, which is this one here. And it is that Spain's new leadership in the EU, given the opportunity to play the role that corresponds to it, someone says. One image sums up the new balances of power in Europe. The meeting in Germany between Chancellor Olaf Scholz and Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez at the end of August symbolized the harmony between the heads of government of the two countries, both of whom are socialists, but also provided a glimpse of the formation of the new axis between the EU's first and fourth power. First being Germany, the fourth being Spain, of course. The war in Ukraine and the ensuing energy crisis have caused the shift in the EU's power game. Spain, with its high capacity to regasify liquefied natural gas, close to a third of that of the entire continent, and its connections with the Maghreb, have become the key energy actor in order to stop depending on Russian fuels. And according to the experts consulted, the government has been able to use this trump card to increase Spain's influence in the highest European spheres. So there we go, Spain's new leadership role in the European Union. Of course, Mr. Sanchez and Mr. Scholz, friends there, working out a plan to get energy into countries like Germany through that gas pipeline, which is a little bit controversial, let's say. And Spain asserting itself in the European Union as the fourth economic power. And people saying that Spain, it's always been a big economy in the EU, but of course they haven't been able to wield that power, let's say, in the European Union with some of the other more powerful countries there in the north of Europe, at least politically, maybe not necessarily from an economy point of view. All right, what else we got going here in the chat section? Sue also says that she's going off to Toledo tomorrow. Have a good trip there, Sue. What else we got going on? Babs coming in from Wales. Wet in Wales. Wet here tomorrow as well, I think, Babs. We're finally getting some rain here in Madrid. City fan coming in from Barcelona. Debbie coming in from Barcelona as well. Alan Edge coming in from the UK. And Osuaket coming in from Oregon, and Simon coming in from Matheron down there in Murcia. Hope all is well. People all around the world today. Now, the second piece of news related to something that we saw last week on Thursday, I believe, the Toro de la Vega festival. And it is that the courts halt the new Toro de la Vega rules. Lancers will not be allowed to stick their spears into the animal. The Toro de la Vega tournament in the Valladolid town of Tordesillas will be governed by the same rules as in previous years, without death and without the possibility of the lanceros, the spearmen, placing currency on the bull with harpoons, a novelty incorporated in the last modification made in the January town hall. Currency or badges, I think, they put on the bull. Following an appeal by the Partido Animalista contra el Maltrato Animal, the High Court of Justice in Castilla y León has agreed to the precautionary suspension and has agreed to the suspension of the new regulatory basis of the City Council of Toro de Sillas for the development of the Toro de la Vega tournament, whose celebration is scheduled for next Tuesday, September the 13th. So there we go, the court stopping the new rules. And as we said, the new rules were that these lanceros, these people with the spears or the lances, are not allowed to stick them into the animal. They had changed the rules in order to not kill the bull. As we know, the bull hasn't been killed since 2018. No festival last year, no festival in 2020, so a couple of years without festivals there. But what happens now, apparently, or what they wanted to happen, was that they wanted to stick badges on the bull, and the person who got the badge closest with one of those spears to that point on the back of the bull's neck there, where the bullfighter normally kills the bull, won the prize. So that's what they wanted to do, but that has been annulled also by that court there in Castilla y León. On the same subject, the minister here in Spain, Rodríguez, has defended making traditions compatible with respect for animals after the controversy over the Toro de la Vega. The Minister for Territorial Policy and Government spokesperson Isabel Rodríguez is committed to making respect for animals compatible with maintaining certain traditions that form part of the essence and identity of territories in the face of the controversy that has arisen over the holding of the Toro de la Vega tournament scheduled for next Tuesday in Toro de Sillas, Valladolid. In statements to the media this Saturday, the minister considers that in a country with deep traditions and after 2 years of pandemic, it is important to make respect for animals compatible with the maintenance of traditions. However, the minister pointed out that the moment in which the animal is killed has been suspended, but not the celebration of the event. So it's still a little bit controversial, this Toro de la Vega up there in Toro de Sillas. And the animal rights groups, as we know, protesting. They want it banned altogether, but the government here wants to try to make it compatible, these old traditions, with modern-day feelings and sentiments, and perhaps not causing any mistreatment of those animals there. So they've got rid of killing the bull in Toro de Sillas. They've also banned that people are not allowed to spear the bull. So basically, I think the bull will just run down the street onto the Vega, or the pasture, or the open land, and who knows what happens then, who knows. But there will be a big police presence because lots of protesters go to that part of Spain this week, and there are quite often clashes between the locals, who obviously want the festival to continue, or at least a lot of the locals there, and animal rights activists that come from places like Madrid, the biggest cities, of course, to protest about the Toro de la Vega. All right, Simon coming in. We saw that one. Stan coming in from Poland. Hello, Stan. Hope you are well today. Paul coming in, also starting the Residencia next May. Good luck with that, Paul. Hope all goes well. What else? Mark coming in from Seville, Plaza de España, set the building Old Triana. It's a beautiful city. Hi all from Jerez de la Frontera. Stephen. Maura coming in from a rainy Donegal there today. Balthree coming in from Madrid. Roberto San Jose Agudo. Hot in Madrid. Very true. Changing tomorrow, as we know, I believe. Belinda coming in from Dallas, Texas. And Kevin coming in from Tucson, Arizona, in the 90s Fahrenheit there today. Now, the next piece of news that we'll have a look at today related to the Queen's passing and the sentiment in Gibraltar. Spanish Gibraltar, look one side of the border and the other. The Queen is dead, long live the King. Miguel, 42 years of age, crosses the border to the Spanish side early in the morning. A resident of San Roque, a town founded by Spanish exiles from the Rock. He returns home after sweeping the streets of Gibraltar during the night shift. See that? That's disrespectful, he exclaims, pointing to the Spanish flag. It should be at half-mast, out of respect for the Queen. They had gestures in our tragedies, for example, the 11th of March attacks. The mourning for the death of Elizabeth II runs through the British colony and is present on the Spanish side also institutionally. The regional government of Andalusia decreed a day of official mourning throughout Andalusia, a measure criticised as excessive on both the left and the right, but accepted and even applauded in the Rock's surroundings, or Gibraltar's surroundings. Of course it's right, out of respect for them, the Gibraltarians, although it's true that they wouldn't have done it, says Josefa, a resident of La Línea de la Concepción, on her way to work in a floating hotel mounted on a moored ship, another way of gaining land where there is none. She applauds the Queen's work and shares the sentiments of her neighbours in Gibraltar, where her father worked for more than 40 years and to whom, she says, she owes a lot. I wouldn't have got a job at 62 years of age if it wasn't for Gibraltar. So people down there close to the Gibraltar border, obviously showing their respect to the Queen there. And as we can see here, Andalusia officially having a day of mourning down there. I think it's the only part of Spain, of course, as we saw there, out of respect for Gibraltar and the border that they share. And no doubt the large amount of British residents that are living in that part of Spain down there on the southern coast in Andalusia. So an interesting story there. Now, I'll just put the little like button back up here on the screen. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so, just below. We're up to 67 likes. We'll see if we can get over the 100 mark today. We might be struggling, but you never know. And we'll go into the chat section. I think we have a super chat or a super sticker. Let me see if I can find it. One from Diablo. Contribution to your new bike, perhaps a pedal. Thank you very much, Diablo. 10 euros there. Much appreciated. And I'll put that towards my new bike. Now, there's a little insect buzzing around here that I can't get rid of, so sorry if that pops up on the screen from time to time. Now, what else we got going on here? We've got Ken coming in. Hello, Ken. Erica from Terrassa, Catalonia, back to work tomorrow. Sorry to hear that, Erica, or perhaps you're looking forward to it, don't know. Carol coming in from Akula Estepona with Martin down there. Hello, guys. Sam coming in from Manilva, Malaga. Nice part of Malaga down there, Manilva. Philip Baker back in Malaga. Noticed how the bar shops have turned down their air conditioning, but now have big metal fans blowing out, which is probably burning much more energy. Don't know, Philip, to be honest, but the 27-degree rule in place, and days like today in Madrid when it's 37 degrees, you do notice that air conditioning set at 27, I must say. Luckily, the weather's changing tomorrow, so it will be cooler, and I think cooler from now on, hopefully. That's all I can say, hopefully. And then we'll have winter to deal with. Nikki Dunn coming in. Hello, Nikki. Hope all is well. Gary coming in from a drizzly New York. Likes the background. Yeah, the new background today. I didn't mention that before. It's the old green screen. Endless possibilities with the green screen, as we know. I've decided to go from black to blue, but I'll be changing it quite frequently, sometimes putting people's photos behind me. If people send me their photos of Spain, I'll put them behind us, and we can maybe have a competition to see which are the best photos that are sent in, or the best holiday pics of Spain. Martin C. coming in from Seville. Truly beautiful city, he says. A lot of people say the same thing, Martin. Mugga coming in. Hello, Mugga. I replied to that question that you left there. Thanks for that, Mugga. Hope you're enjoying El Campello down there. Grant coming in from Asturias. Hope all is well, Grant. Hot today there? Let us know. Vinny coming in from Seville. Gorgeous, they say. Why the blue background, says Alan. No reason, Alan, just to change. I can change to any colour. I can go to even bricks in the background here, as we can see, or I'll stick to what I had up there before, but very versatile now with the backgrounds, Alan, so there's going to be a lot of changes when it comes to backgrounds. Gary coming in from Minnesota, and what else we got here? And Ali Dole finally have made the live, coming in from Dublin, moving soon to the Valencian community. All right, good, Ali. Hope all goes well with that move. All right, first comment from the other day. We're up to 179 viewers, 98 likes. I'll just put the little like icon back on the screen. So if you haven't hit it, please do so just below. We'll see if we can get over the 100 mark today. We'll have a look at the first comment from the other day. Let's have a look. This one here from Neil. I applauded the direct action of these property owners. If the law cannot help you protect your property, then what option do you have but to act? I, for one, would not sit back and watch this lowlife take advantage. In any case, what would the law say about protection of your private property? Also, another option is to hire someone, ex-military bouncers, to do a job, and there are many out there who will do the hard, dirty work for a small fee. And a similar comment here from Rick. Squatting is not people moving into your house. They are breaking into your house illegally and taking possession. It's housejacking your home. Get them out by any means necessary. And of course, these comments popping up because, as we know, the other day, or maybe when was it, Friday, that I mentioned that a judge has spoken saying that squatting is not a problem in Spain, according to the judge. People beg to differ with his opinion. I saw some people in the comment section saying that the judge was not telling the truth. I was only saying what I read in the papers. Judge was on television. He was also quoted in a newspaper article saying that when it comes to crimes here in Spain, squatting is at the bottom of the list. Not too many cases going through his court, at least. And the cases that do go through his court are acted on very, very swiftly. He said within 48 hours normally squatters are removed through the legal processes, because we saw last week that a guy down there in Murcia took the law into his own hands by getting a few mates, arming themselves with baseball bats, and of course going in, evicting the squatters. And now he could be facing charges of aggression against the people that were in his home. This last comment here, housejacking. Yeah, not necessarily. I don't agree with that, because normally what happens is that the squatters don't move in when there are people there, obviously. They don't forcefully move in like it would be in a carjacking. And the idea of a housejacking that I get is that they move in, kick the people out that are living there and take over the house. That's not true. They move into empty residences, and also the doubt is over what type of empty residence is it. Is it a second home? Is it a first home where people have gone away on holiday? Is it a home that's just been vacant for a long period of time? That all influences a judge's decision when it comes to evictions. But I wouldn't classify it as a carjacking, I don't think, in a similar vein to a carjacking or a housejacking. Carjacking, as we know, the idea that I have is that you're sitting in your car at the traffic lights and somebody forcefully ejects you from your car and steals it. So I don't think the squatting is the same. I'm not defending squatting or squatters. I don't think that it should be in any way, shape or form happening. But here in Spain, there does seem to be a little bit of misconception over the seriousness of squatting. And like I said, I'm only just repeating what I read that judge to have said. But anyway, we'll move on. Now, what else we got here in the chat section? Bill coming in. Sorry to be late. No problem, Bill. Aaron coming in from Irlanda. Gino and Isabella coming in from Toronto. What else we got going on here? David coming in saying that Spain is being gentrified. Not sure what that means. What else we got going on here? Problematic protesters. They can't help it. It's their belief. Not sure what we're talking about. We're talking about the Toro de la Vega. That's correct, yes. The problematic protesters, if you like. Right away saying, bizarre, there are still people who get their kicks by torturing animals. Yeah, I find it bizarre as well, but again, I have been told right away that because I'm not Spanish, I don't understand these traditions. I remember once somebody telling me that it's in the Spanish DNA to have bulls and things like that participating in their festivals. And if you're not from here, if you haven't grown up with that, you can't understand the feelings or the sentiments that people have for animals and what they do with these animals in the festivals. And on a different note, somebody here in Madrid at local festivals, at a local festival, I think in the south of Madrid, maybe Getafe, Valdemoro or somewhere like that, also died unfortunately at the weekend because he was gored by a bull at one of these festivals. So probably 10, 15, maybe 20 people this year losing their lives at these festivals around Spain. And of course the Toro de la Vega coming up in a few days' time, which no doubt will be controversial again. All right, Anikan coming in, different background. True Anikan, hasn't watched for a while. Hello from Cornwall. Paul asking the question, has anybody walked the Camino de Santiago? I imagine that the answer would be yes, Paul. It's a very popular activity to do, so I'm sure people have. I'll let that conversation play out in the chat section. Jesus coming in from The Hague in the Netherlands. Hello, Jesus. Elaine, our flags in New Jersey are at half-mast for the Queen. I'm sure they are in many parts of the world, especially in the Commonwealth countries. I imagine that they are at half-mast still. Ignace coming in from Utrecht. Hello, Ignace. Iggy coming in from Jaén. And Alan coming in from Pennsylvania, I think. Is it Alan? PA. Hope to be back in El Puerto soon. Missing Cruzcampo. Probably the only one missing Cruzcampo, Alan, to be honest. You know my opinions on Cruzcampo here. All right, good. Nuria coming in from Gran Canaria. Nuria Sevilla coming in from Gran Canaria. And Mick coming in from Moreira. So plenty of activity in the chat section. We're up to 132 likes. I'll just put the little like icon back on the screen there. So hit that like button if you can. And as we know, it keeps me motivated when I sit here going through the news and the comments. Now, the next comment that we'll look at, let me see if I can find it here. 1 minute. Let's see. Is it this one here? From Edward. If Spain is doing away with nuclear energy, what are they going to have in its place, as England is just starting to build reactors? Just starting, I think Edward means there, to build reactors. Spain, as we know, has a plan to phase out nuclear energy by 2035. I think they're going to start doing it in 2025, so in a couple of years' time, phase it out over that 10-year period. And I think the idea, Edward, is to move on to renewables. Obviously not 100%, because we know that we don't have the capacity yet for 100% renewable energy, but probably to combine it with gas. Not sure. 10 years seems to be a long time away, but the years do creep up on us. But the plan here in Spain is that. And I have noticed that other European countries are moving towards nuclear again because of the energy crisis, but it's not the case here in Spain apparently. And as I said, the current government is on track to shut down every nuclear reactor here in Spain by 2035. Controversial for some. The right side of politics wants to pick up with more nuclear energy. The left side doesn't, so that's basically where the debate is here. And in the UK, I imagine, like other European countries, are desperate to find something to get them through the winters that are coming, because as we know, we can't depend on that Russian gas anymore, which is the issue, and that's probably why the UK, as Edward says there, is building reactors. So we'll see what happens, but here in Spain, no plan for that. The plan, I believe, is to go renewable as much as possible. So we'll see how we go with that plan. All right, what else we got going on? Diane coming in from San Diego, California. Pete James. Have you heard if travel restrictions are being lifted for arrivals into Spain unvaccinated? No, I have not, Pete. I have not heard anything about that. If you come from a European Union country, there's no restrictions in place. I think it's from outside the European Union, third countries, as they say. And of course, the UK affected in that. But I haven't heard anything, but I imagine that eventually, or one day, they will disappear. John coming in from Nurja, just moved from NZ, New Zealand. Hope all is well down there in Nurja. Enjoying that lovely part of Spain, John, which Nurja is. Don't forget to visit some of those mountain villages up behind Nurja as well, Frejiliana and the like. Nice places. What else we got going on here? Abstract 66 coming in, coming in from Campo Verde, Costa Blanca South. And Vinny asking a question here. Does anyone know the name of a small village not far from Portugal with sand roads and horses and flamingos? We stayed there once but can't remember the name. I think you're talking about Rocío, maybe. Is it called El Rocío, the village? Not sure. I think it's down there in Huelva, not far. And I think that's the place that you're talking about with sand roads and horses, I think. But I could be wrong. Rocío in Huelva. I think that's the name of the place. But again, like I said, don't quote me. Grant coming back with the weather report from Asturias. Cloudy and overcast with a breeze now and then. Sounds fantastic, Grant. Nico coming in from the Delta del Ebro. Hola a todos. Hello, Nico. Hope all is well. And Mark asking the question, how do we get photos to you, Stu? Just send them to my email, Mark, at spainspeaks@gmail.com or spainspeaks@gmail.com, and I'll get the photos. And if they pass the test, I'll put them up. Obviously, I'll have to check them out first to make sure that that they can be shown, and they are of a decent quality, Mark. So if you've got some decent photos, send them to spainspeaks@gmail.com. All right, Sam Seville. Rocío, that's what I thought it was. El Rocío, exactly right, where they have a pilgrimage every year from places like Seville to El Rocío. People hop on the back of, or hop on horses and carts and head down to Rocío. What else we got going on here? Carol saying that she can't imagine the Spanish court system addressing any issue within a couple of days. Yeah, I can understand people are skeptical about that, Carol, but the judge again said that there's something that they call an express court system which this type of crime goes through if it's considered to be of a certain type of home occupation. So if you can prove that it's your first residence or your second residence, even if it's a rental residence, and apparently it's what they call this desalfio express, where they can kick the squatters out fairly quickly within 48 hours. Again, it's what I read. I don't know this because I haven't gone through the process, but I'm only going on what I have read. All right, we're up to 152 likes. I'll just put the little like icon back on the screen there. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do so just below the video. And we'll see if we can get up to 170 today, which I think would be a good figure for today. Now, what else we got going on here? Martin saying that the judge said there's no problem with squatters. Why do all the Spanish homes have bars on the window? I saw this comment that you left on the video as well, Martin, asking the same question. Why do Spanish homes have bars on the window? I'm not sure whether it's because of squatters or whether it's just something that people do that live in houses or ground floor flats. I have bars on the window here, and it was one of the first things we did because when we were handed the keys, there were two people waiting for us. One was trying to sell us an alarm. The other one was trying to sell us bars for the windows. And because 3 or 4 neighbours decided to go down the bar route, we also went down the bar route. But you're right, lots of ground floor apartments and individual houses have bars on the windows here in Spain. But I wasn't under the impression it's because of squatters. I think it's just more because of burglaries. When you live in a house, you are, as we know, it's not the same as living in a flat here in Madrid or somewhere like that. So you can become an easy target for people breaking and entering. All right, what else we got going on here? Let's see what we've got going on here in the chat section. Ellen coming in from Fuerteventura, 30 degrees Celsius right now. Sounds fantastic. Stephen also questioning Alan for missing Cruz Campo. Obviously not one of Stephen's favourite beers. Neither mine. Tobias also adding to the beer debate. I don't want to get into another beer debate because we've had a few beer debates over the last few weeks and months. And Cruz Campo, not the best, but definitely better than Estrella Galicia. That would be a controversial comment, Tobias, because Estrella Galicia, very, very popular here in Spain as a lager beer. All right, now we'll go into the comments from yesterday's video. Again, let's have a look what we can find from Sam, who's also in the chat section today. Not related to today's video, but been to the supermarket shopping in a town near Seville, and sunflower oil is now $9.95 for 5 litres, not nearly 20 as earlier this year. Eggs are 12 cents per unit, no shortage of ice whatsoever. Even chicken, if you buy a bundle of 4 breasts and 4 quarters at $2.79 a kilo, seems cheap, was recently paying $3.99 a kilo for quarters only. So there we go, prices on the way down for certain things. Sunflower oil, definitely, because as we know, the shelves are stocked again with sunflower oil after a bit of a shortage there earlier in the year when Russia first invaded Ukraine, and there were some shortages, but price stabilizing when it comes to sunflower oil again. And the other things that you mentioned there, I tend to find there's quite a lot of specials on at the supermarket at the moment, so you can pick up some deals, and it's worth it to shop around, looking for places that maybe have chicken on sale one week or pork on sale the next, or maybe they've got some discounted fruit and veg, other items like that. Eggs, for example, quite often at my supermarket you get a 30 or a 40% discount when they're coming up to the expiry date. So you can find some bargains when it comes to supermarket shopping. But absolutely right, Sam, that we're not paying nearly, we're paying a lot less for things like sunflower oil than we were 3 or 4 months ago. All right, good. What else we got going on here? Plenty of activity. I'll see if I can find a couple more chats to pull out here. Let's see. Perry talking about the best pièce de cerdo a la brasa in the world. Pièce de cerdo a la brasa. Never tried it. Maybe you're talking about pig's trotters, maybe. Not sure. Let us know. El Rocío says Jose Antonio. And Brian in Mansfield, booked flights for Malaga for December. Very cheap, but wary of committing to booking an apartment. Let's have a look at this. As they want now 50% deposit. Bit risky without knowing whether COVID restrictions might re-emerge. Don't think so, Brian. I've had a few people asking this question about COVID restrictions. And I said the other day, and I'll say it again, I don't think there are going to be more COVID restrictions this year. I think Spain is prepared for what COVID brings, as a lot of European countries are currently are taking their chances with COVID. And I don't think we're going to go back to the restrictions, but then again, you never know. You never know. But I'm quite optimistic that that won't be the case. Now, that little insect's still flying around, so I'll try and push past that. What else we've got going on here with the chat section? So what's wrong with squatters living near Parliament in my neighbourhood, says David. Talking about squatters, lots of chat about beer. Looking at Frigiliana, says John, thanks for the tip. Yeah, it's a nice little village just behind Nerja. John, you can probably see it from Nerja, actually, up there on the hill. Nice place, definitely worth a visit, maybe for lunch or a drink. What else we got going on here? Bars on Windows says right away, reduce the cost of insurance in a big way, as do alarms, no doubt. Thank you very much for that, for the input there, right away. And what else we got going on here? I'll see if I can find something in a minute. I'll come back. Now we're up to 173 likes, 262 people watching currently. So I'll just put the little like icon on the screen. If you haven't hit it, please do so, just below the video. We've got a few minutes left of the live stream, and we'll have a look at another comment or two. Let's have a look at this one here now from Alan Frost. The health system here has collapsed. I'm waiting to get the stitches out after a big hip operation. Presented the papers from the hospital to the clinic here in Los Gallardos, but I am waiting now for 1 week. Cannot walk. What can I do? Interesting question there, Alan. Sorry to see that you are suffering there as a result of your stitches still being in. The only thing that I suggest is that you go to the urgencias, and they should be able to take care of you. Don't wait for an appointment, because as we know, you can be waiting a couple of weeks for that. So you've got the urgencias route. You can either do that at a hospital, or you can do it at your local health centre as well. You can just go down there and ask for emergency treatment. For something like that, they should take care of you quick smart, because I imagine a nurse can remove stitches. You don't have to wait to see a doctor. So you can just go down there, tell them the problem, tell them that you want to have emergency treatment, and you should be taken care of. Los Gallardos, not sure where that is, maybe down there in Andalusia, but as I said, two options. One is the hospital, the other is your local health centre tomorrow when it opens. At the weekend, obviously, you go to the hospital, to the emergency section, and they take care of these things for you. You might have to wait a little while, but you will be taken care of, Alan. But you're right, the health system is not working as well as it did pre-pandemic, in my opinion, and the waiting times here in Madrid especially. I can't speak about other parts of Spain because, as we know, health is taken care of by the 17 autonomous communities, so it's different depending on where you are. But here in Madrid, you're waiting 2 weeks to get a doctor's appointment, so obviously not worth your while waiting. So head down to the local medical centre tomorrow or the hospital and get those stitches taken out quick, smart. That would be my recommendation there, Alan. All right, good. What else we got going on here in the chat section? David says, bars on the window is a style. Not sure whether you would classify it as a style because they're fairly ugly things to have on the window. I would prefer not to have them, but now they're on, difficult to go through the effort to remove them. What else we got going on here? All a bit late in tuning in. No problem there, John. Paul asking the question, any news about driving in Spain? No, I haven't heard any news, any updates on the driving license thing, which British people are waiting to take place. Haven't heard anything. What's the date today? The 11th of September? Maybe by the end of the month, maybe. Not sure, Paul. What else we got going on here? Steve coming in from a wet Ireland. And Grant replying about the Camino de Santiago, which was asked before by somebody whether or not it is popular and people here have done it. Grant saying that if you go to the Camino del Norte, you pass through my town. A lot of people start in Oviedo at the cathedral. There we go. So some information there given to the question that we saw before about the Camino de Santiago. All right, good. Now we'll have a look at one more comment here. From Mallorca Under the Sun, a YouTuber there in Mallorca who puts out good content, so check the Mallorca Under the Sun content out. In my opinion, Magaluf is a teddy bear's picnic when compared to Arenal, which is a German resort. Magaluf gets a very bad reputation here, usually due to isolated incidents which the media jump on. Magaluf is very much now a family resort. The drunken tourism reported is limited to largely one strip, and certainly doesn't and shouldn't define the island. So there we go. And that's from an article that we saw the other day in The Economist magazine, talking about Magaluf and how the authorities in Mallorca are trying to clean up this turismo de borrachera, as they call it. That's what they're trying to do. Whether or not they're successful, I don't know. But according to Mallorca Under the Sun, Mallorca Under the Sun, it is not much of a problem anymore. The drunken tourism at Magaluf is being cleaned up as we speak and limited now to the strip there in Magaluf. So thank you very much for the comment there, Mallorca Under the Sun. And as I said, check out her channel on YouTube, Mallorca Under the Sun, if you're interested on what's going on in Mallorca and the Balearic Islands. Now, Kathy saying, coming in from Missouri, starting to get cooler there, starting to get cooler everywhere, luckily. Pamela coming in from San Juan de los Terrenos, and Remy asking people to push the like button. What else we got going on here? Plenty of activity. And Erica, the last comment here, have done the Santiago starting from Ronceveux. I did this 40 years ago and it was very tough. Maybe my pronunciation of that word there is not correct, but anyway, 40 years ago it was tough. Yeah, lots of people started in that part close to the French border there in the north of Spain. So plenty of activity today in the chat section, plenty of people helping each other out there, which is good to see. Now we're up to 205 likes, 260 people watching. I'm going to cut the live stream short. We're at 38 minutes. Thank you very much for your participation today in the chat section. Thank you very much for people that contributed with the super chat there, Diablo España. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching today. I'll be back again on Tuesday with another live stream. Can't put a video out tomorrow, I don't think, because I'm a little bit busy with something in the morning, so won't be able to do that. But should be up and running again on Tuesday, as I said, with another live stream. Maybe some shorts videos. I'll see what I can. I'll see what I can do if I can find some interesting information to put out on the channel. So thank you very much, everybody, for your participation. I'll see you on Tuesday in another live stream. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces.